Hello guys, I'm Savvy and welcome to another Conan Exiles build video. In the last one, we built what I think is the best build that I've ever done in this game. We used a combination of Aquilonian and Argosian, mainly using Aquilonian because I don't really use it that much, and it turned out really awesome. So if you guys want to check that out, it'll be linked at the end of this video. But in this one, we are going to be doing something pretty simple. I've been doing a lot of huge builds and everything, and I want to do something that's a bit more simplistic, a lot smaller, something that I'm getting more used to than building such large structures. And today is going to be just a simple castle. And what I mean by simple castle is we're going to have like 4 towers in each corner. So, well, not in each corner, but 1 tower in each corner, equaling up to 4. And we're also going to have kind of a middle bit for your probably your items, maybe some benches around. It's going to have multiple floors as well. So it's going to have some defense, but the way that I'm going to build it is probably the back of the castle is going to have a little bit more vulnerability. So where I am right now is nearby the Northern Aqueduct and the Great Dam, between the two of them, and it's around G10, 9 and 10, so it's kind of a large space here, and it's actually next to where I usually build too, one of my favorite spots of all time. It's just this gives us a lot of room to work with. There's other spots too, such as over there and back there, but I think right here is good enough as is. It gives us enough space, and I like this little, like, valley that's here beside all these hills. So what we're going to be building out of, and I haven't really thought about that far, but I think Numidian would probably be best because I just like the way that the stone looks. So as a starter building block, I'm going to use the Numidian foundations, and we're going to build a rectangle, or at least something similar to rectangle. So I want to make sure that we have enough height here, and you could build this up as high as you want, and I think actually I'm going to start here. And for width, we're going to go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I want an odd number. Odd number is going to be important because we need a gate frame. So then the next thing, we're going to take our wedge foundations and put one in each corner, like so. Just like that. Because these corners are going to be used for the towers. Just like that. Now for the next portion, we are going to have to use the wedges to get across this way. So just like with this, with it being 9 across, we also want to do the same thing. Except not 9, we're probably going to do maybe 5 or 7. And we're going to start from this triangle right here, or this wedge. I don't know, what do you guys prefer me to call it? Because I go between saying triangle, wedge. I think triangle might be easier for me to say instead of wedge, because I mean it is literally a triangle. So I'm just call it triangle from now on. So I'm going to use these triangles, and we're going to use these as a reference to how many there are. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think 5 is a little too short, so we'll do 7. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just like so. And then the last one here can be used for our corner. You want to put one more triangle right there and then add this. Now we can go back in and just put in the squares, the square foundations. And you want to wait until it lines up to there, just like so. Get your triangles again, build another tower base right there, and then just as before, you close it off by doing the same thing with the triangles as we did on that side, and just build them up until all of them connect together. So now you have it looks like a square, but it's actually a rectangle since it's a 7 by 9, or 9 by 7, however you want to refer that as. And the way that we're going to do this is the front is going to be right here where I'm standing in front of. And we're going to put a gate frame here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. And before I do anything else, because I know that this can be a little finicky, and I might need to delete some of these in order for it to line up correctly, because I know sometimes these like to be silly. There we go. You want it right on the edge right there too, just like that. And then what I'm going to do is go in with the Numidian fence foundations. And kind of give it a nicer wall face, I guess, because I really don't like the wood. I don't like the side of these foundations. And with these fence foundations, it doesn't matter which way they're facing because each side is pretty much laid out the same way. So you can have them face whatever direction you want. And I'm only going to have this as low as it is. I could technically build it one more higher, but since this is more of a simple build, this will just be easier. Plus, it'll save resources in the long run anyway, just like so. And this can sit upon the fence foundation too, so I can get rid of those, and it'll work just like that. But I'm going to keep those for now, just for reference, but then we'll replace them later. So the next thing I want to do is I want to build the actual like middle castle bit. And it's going to start from here. And just for consistency's sake, I'm going to have them face the same direction. So the front of this is going to go out by 2, like so, and leave a gap of 2 on each side. So 1, 2, 1, 2, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 in the middle, like that. This will also have a gate frame, just like the front here, and this will lead into the castle. And this castle part will have multiple floors in them. And those fence foundations that I put there, those will... I'll get rid of those after we finish this bit. So I want this part to stick out back here as well. And this is the part where it's like protection, but not really, because the back part here is not really that protected. What you could probably do is extend this wall back here and make this, like, separate these apart, but then keep the wall going around instead. And then maybe change these towers where one is more centered and then there's another one in each corner. But we're not going to do that. I'm going to do more simple and more simplistic building style. And this is catered more towards PVE. That's essentially what all my builds are. They usually cater towards that PVE sort of game mode. So I'm going to keep these squares here. I'm going to add 3 right here, leaving these gaps in these corners, and then go in with some triangles and connect them up like that. Because I was thinking of putting a balcony, not at the bottom floor, but up at the top where the private quarters are going to be. So then we have something like this. And what I'm going to do now is go around again and use these fence foundations. Just like so. And what I want to do is put fence foundations on both sides. So we have fence foundations on this side, and I also want to put them on this side as well. Where we're going to have a hollow shell. Also, that's facing the wrong direction, but that's fine. We're going to replace those anyway with ceilings eventually. And then we have something like this, which as long as they're all connected together, yeah, it'll be fine. Yep, give it one more look around, make sure that all of them are connected, and they are. So now what I'm going to do is just hollow out all of this. And you can do the same thing as well. And these are all going to have ceilings in them with some supports underneath, because at least this main castle bit will need to have pillars underneath for support, because we're going to be building up higher. These walls won't really need them because we're only going to be putting walls on the fence foundations, and the fence foundations are already the supports for those things, but that's okay. But we have a shape like this, which looks pretty cool, not going to lie. And these walls are going to be as tall as the gate frame here. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to use these walls first and just build these around. And these walls will have some windows as well, just to give it a little bit, not to be as bland. And they'll go up every 2 instead of every 1. So instead of giving it 1 space then a window, we're going to do 2 spaces then a window. It's not going to be the same for the middle part of the castle, though. It might be a little bit different, just based on how the floors are going to be. And it is quite small, but I feel like it's going to be enough. I think it's going to be spacious enough for items and all that to be placed in there. And I can demonstrate that when we get to that point, too. So put a window there, put a window there. And you just want to go all the way around with this until all these walls are up to that height. And you can also work on the main castle part right here, but I'm going to leave that blank and just work on only the walls, both the inside and outside portions of them, while also putting in some ceilings here too. And these ceilings, just to make it, I guess, nicer, I'm going to use the, if I can find them, Frontier. I'm going to use the same ceilings for the floor on the inside as well, but I'm going to go around and put these ceilings all around in these spots where all the wedges go and where all the squares go. So once I do that, I will come back and you will see the final results of the walls and everything else that I put in. So see you guys in a second. Okay, so I have built up the walls here, and I put in the ceilings too, as you can see. And one thing I want to do as well is I definitely would like to put in more ceilings here, because watch what happens if I destroy one of these walls here, that whole section's gonna go down. So to prevent that from happening, I'm gonna bring up another floor here, another set of ceilings in between, just to make sure that there is more support for those walls, and it's not just going to be one tower of walls all throughout. And it's best to do this even in PvE as well, especially if you have a purge attacking your base. And if you do not do something like this, and if the purge overwhelms you and you're not able to fight it off as fast or efficiently as you thought you could have, they will be knocking away at those walls or even the foundations, and it'll just come tumbling down, especially if they are not tier 3, because even though tier 3 is stronger, if you're not that far into the game where you're making those type of building pieces, yeah, they're going to be destroyed even faster, and it's all going to come crashing down at a faster rate. So you just want to make sure that if you're building walls like these, especially as high as they are, you definitely want to make sure that there's multiple layers of ceilings around, so that way you can prepare yourself for that. And even for PvP as well, because, you know, people are going to try to blow them up, and you want multiple layers of walls. But the way you build structures in PvP are vastly different than the way I build mine for PvE. And I don't play PvP at all. PvP is not my forte for games like these. I'd rather play PvE where it's more peaceful, people kind of work together, or, you know, you kind of just stay to yourself. And you could build pretty much whatever you want. And that's the way I like it. That's the way I play, is I build these beautiful structures and then going to bed and then having to wake up and then seeing my entire build being destroyed. Just it's not a good feeling at all. Not good. All right. So, these have all been put in, these ceilings here. And the walls are obviously not done yet, but we are going to build up the main part of this castle. And if you're wondering, are we going to keep this grass here? We are not. I'm actually going to put a different floor in besides Frontier for this because I just think that something a little nicer might look cool. And I don't know, would Aquilonian match with this? Not really, it's not much of a contrast. So I might look around and see if I can find something that might look good with it, because I don't want to just go between the median and frontier only. I kind of want to do something for the outside as well that makes it look pretty. So if you guys give me a moment, I'll figure out what that'll be. Alright, what I decided to use was the storm glass ceilings. There's two different kinds. There's this one, which is more black and white, but I thought that that was too much contrast, so I thought that the regular storm glass ceilings work well, and they do. They actually look pretty good. And this is kind of like the courtyard, I guess. This is what it will be. And I've thought about maybe adding something in the center here where I go down into the grass and putting maybe like a statue or something on the bottom. And it'd probably have to be pretty big because instead of the two here, I'll probably have to go in like this and do that. And then put some more walls in and some fences too. And not these storm glass, not the medium walls, but we'll use the storm glass walls instead because I think that'll be cool. Just kind of match these ceilings here. Just like that. And then the fences for these probably would look good too. Yeah, they're pretty tall. I like the taller fences. And I want the outside facing outside, so the spikes facing towards me. And then in the middle, I'm definitely gonna put some lights as well. But let's go to statues. And I don't want to put these kinds of statues in. I mean, they're cool and all, but I'd rather go with something a little bit different. Not that. Not that one. That's too small. Something not too tall, but... I mean, these work. These statues work. Yeah, those tower over, and they're not as big. They're not too big, they're not too small. So we'll just put a couple of these. And again, I wish that there was a opposite facing statue, or like how her hand's on her left hip. I wish there was one where she had one on her right hip. But I'll just put 3 different statues here. Just like that. Yeah, that's good. That looks good. That's something. And then for lights, I'll put maybe some small braziers on the bottom. Just kind of light them up. Help light up the whole area too. Both front and back. Yeah, that looks good. That'll probably look good at nighttime. Alright, so the next thing we gotta do is build up the castle itself. So just like before, just like with this front here, I'm gonna place this gate frame. Just like that. That looks good. And these walls are going to go as tall as the gate frame as well. But this middle bit is going to go a lot higher. It's going to be a lot taller than this section. Also, that should not be the way it is. So if that ever happens, just go back in and you can fix it, replacing a foundation and then putting it back with fence foundation. And the access to these walls here, they're going to be through the castle itself. So you go inside here and there are going to be some doorways that you'll be able to get into for each section and probably the top floor, because I'd like to utilize those. Definitely would be nice to use them up as best as I can. And I think incorporating more storm glass would be nice too. So incorporating something like the storm glass windows, because I've done this before where I've combined both storm glass and a median, and it actually works quite well in my opinion. I just gotta find the windows wherever they are. Oh, they're up here. Okay. Because there's even a window cap, which is really cool. And I don't really know how tall I want these windows to be, because obviously I want windows here. And maybe having them go 4 high would be good. Just to match this first floor, because it's kind of grand. We want this to be kind of a grand floor here, because this is where the throne room will be as you step right in right away. And it's pretty small. Like I said, it's a simple castle build. It's nothing too crazy, nothing too convoluted. And I've done other castle builds before, but they're not like as square or as, I guess, I mean, obviously they're all different from each other, but you know what I'm trying to say, right? I hope you know what I'm trying to say. I don't make them as simple as these. Some of them are kind of just winging it kind of thing, which I guess I'm doing here, but not as much because I have kind of a proper shape going on, which is more of a square-like shape, which I normally don't really do squares all that much. Not a big fan of squares. Which, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with squares. I'm sure, you know, I've seen many squares in this game too. Many square builds, and you could actually, excuse me, you can actually do a really good design with a square. Just, you could probably start off with a square and then just kind of build off from it, which kind of gives me another video idea, honestly. But I'll save that for another time. That'll be for another video. Alright, I'm gonna put a door frame there. And that floor, I'm not gonna utilize that. It's just gonna be down here. Just those, and then that's kind of just for looks there. And then up here will be where you look out and you could have archers and stuff around the area. I also need to put in the actual door for these, yeah. That'd be good to have an actual door going inside. And I'm just gonna keep the frontier floors throughout this whole thing. I'm gonna be covering this up, but I'm actually gonna also use, once I put these ceilings in, I'm gonna use the vaulted ceilings. At least for this more rectangular bit in the middle, because back here you can't really do anything with vaulted ceilings with triangle shapes, unfortunately. It'd be cool if there was some kind of triangular vaulted ceiling, but unfortunately there isn't. But yeah, something like this. So then let's go inside and get our vaulted ceilings, which Frontier doesn't have it, but Nemedian does, which I do like a lot. And I might need to change the window heights for these as well, where this cap goes down here instead, and the window's there. Just for this portion, but these windows will stay the same height. Let me grab, let's see, these ones. The only problem, though, is that they do change the ceiling above, so I might have to use the ugly ceilings from the median. Switch it up. It'll switch it up a little bit, which isn't a bad thing, but I really don't like those ceilings at all. They're just bleh. They're bleh to me. I want the corner ones, these ones, right here. Just like that. These will get in on it too. There we go, we have something like this. But if we go outside and you see the ceiling up here, yeah. I don't know why it looks like that too. And they're facing different directions, which is also just terrible. I don't like it at all. Not my cup of tea. But you gotta deal with it. Gotta deal. And I think I'm gonna use these sideways instead of vertically, since most of these are horizontal. And then replace these with wedge ceilings. Alright. Something like that. I mean, I guess that works. So the thing that we gotta do next is putting in a stairway. And probably separating the rooms off. So I think putting walls here would be good to have, but let me put in the median stairs. I do like these stairs a lot. Stairs are one of my favorites. And then these are gonna go up to... Because the way that I would have them connect together, it would be one stairway going up. And I don't know if I like that, because it would look awkward. So I think going up 2, and then turning, and then going up one more time. Or going up 3, then going up 1. It would get in the way of the vaulted ceilings, though. So I'm just gonna try it. Like, enough talking. Actually, do it. Do it, Savvy. Do it. Then we do a stair, or we do a ceiling there, and then a stair there. Where it goes up like this. Which is okay, but I don't like how it cuts into this, because I'd rather the stairs be over here, and then a room be over here. That's kind of the way that I'm envisioning that. So, I'm gonna figure out the stair combination and see if I can get something that works the best with this. Okay, so I have something going on here. So the way that I did it is have the stairs face this direction, and then they go up 3, and then turn, and then go up by 1. That's kind of the best combination I had for all this, and I had to get rid of the gate frame here, unfortunately, only because of the fact that the stairs got in the way of the gate frame. So, it's going to be bare like this, but we're going to have things to kind of cover that up, and it'll be okay. It'll be fine. I think, at least. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to continue building upward, up higher and higher and higher. And these door frames are going to finally cut into what's on the outside here, which is the wall. But I'm going to build up these walls up a little bit higher with door frames cutting into each entrance and exit. So that way you can continue along the wall and have some parts of protection on the corners, like so. And plus, I like when these towers are built up more. They just look better, honestly. These are only just going to go up by one. They're not going to go up any higher than that. And then they're going to have a rooftop. At least I think I want a rooftop for that. I mean, I'll probably do one with... If we do a rooftop with them, then I'll keep it that way where it's only one high. But if it looks better without the rooftop, then I'll build two high. So I'm going to build one that is 2 blocks high instead, and then use... And this is why I love Nemedian so much, is because the crenellated walls are just so good for just castle-like structures. Just because, look at that. That just looks really good. Okay, I think I'm sold on that. So I'm going to build this up 2 high, 2 blocks high. And then put a ceiling covering that up, and then putting the crenellated walls in. Because the crenellated walls won't protect you from rain, so if it's raining and you want to take refuge, it's best to take them in the towers here. And then I'm going to use these going across here on both inside and outside facing walls. And I usually don't build castles with walls around them, but I feel like this time would just be just a good idea. That's just me, though. There we go. And there we go. There's the walls there, but we need to finish putting the rest of these up here. And I don't think it matters which order you put them in. You could put the crenellated walls in first and then put the ceilings in, or you could put the ceilings in and then the crenellated walls. Totally up to you, because the game will allow it. Just, I know that for some things, this game does not want you to do things in your own order. Some of them you have to be specific in how you start it and how you finish. So, but for this one, it doesn't matter, which is just a good thing overall. And these towers are pretty short. I mean, unless I was using the spiral stairs from the Argosian Observatory build kit, there's not really a way to get up to the tops of these. But you don't really need to, because this covers all sides here. There's hardly ever a blind spot. It's just these corner bits, but you can see around them on either side anyway. So yeah, I just think it looks good that way. So I'm just going to continue building up these walls here. And I know that for this section here, since these have been built up, I'm going to cover these with walls as well. And this whole spot here is not going to be its own room. There's probably going to be a buffer here, like a hallway or something. You know what? I'll put a window there. Be able to look out from that point. Yeah, that'll look good. Alright, and then these windows, I'm going to continue these windows here. And I think just keeping them too high, two blocks high, like this, and then do one more floor that's 2 blocks high as well. Just kind of connect it together where it equals the same height as the bottom floor, just 2 separate sections that equal 4. And to make the front look a little bit more appealing, I think what I'm going to do is bring this floor back, where it's more like this. Ooh, actually, what I could do is here. Keep that ceiling there. Go in, go out, and then go in again, like this. Oops. Oops, I hate when that happens. I didn't mean to do that. Put that back there, please. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Like that. I'll just keep that bare for now. And just build this up where there's going to be windows. I wouldn't need this then. Put a window, oops. Put a window here, window there. Something like that. Yeah. Just to keep it more interesting, and then I could put some roof pieces here, some corner ones, and then this sloped one right there. Yeah. Maybe some crenellated walls there as well. Or I could just keep crenellated there and just leave it like that. Yeah, that looks good. Alright. Then I'm just gonna build these walls up all the way. Until they reach the height that I want. Just like that. I think I'm going to change the way that these walls are facing too. These are that's just going to be for looks. It's not actually going to be a place that you can go into. Just kind of making the outside look a little bit more appealing. But then you have this hallway bit through here. And then you have the door in the center. Like so. And then on this floor could be where you put some benches around and stuff, which I could do that right now. So let's see here. Let's get some crafting stations. So let's get our alchemy here. Put this by the window right there. Put the fireball cauldron right there. We'll put the... We'll do improved carpenter's bench. We'll do one in the corner right here. We need a blacksmith's bench. I won't forget the tannery this time, because the last time I tried to do this with the building guide, or beginner's build, I forgot to put the tanner's bench. Yeah, improved tannery. We'll do that. And I'll put it right here, because the tar is definitely necessary for alchemy stuff. And then the tanner's table can go beside this, like so. And let's see, what else we got here? Got some general ones, like the dryer, which can go right there. The grinder can go right here. In the center, we can actually have, let's see, where is it? Cooking. Yeah, this actually has enough space for the campfire. I'll put it right there. Look at that. Beautiful. And what else we got here? Trying to do like the vanilla crafting stations. The fluid press. We need the tinker's bench. Is the tinker's bench in this? Oh yeah, the armor's bench. I forgot about that too. That can actually go right here. Then I'll get the... Then I'll get the fluid press. And that can just go snugly right there. Yeah, that looks really nice. I like that. The tinker's bench won't be able to fit in here. Actually, no, it probably will. Let me move the dryer right here. I'll scooch... I mean, I don't really need to scooch it there, but... Or I can move that to here. And then the tinker's bench, wherever the heck it is. It's smithing, right? Yeah, here it is, tinker's bench. Duh. And then it can go... Usually it's meant to go in a corner, but it doesn't really matter. And it probably would be better if I put it right by the carpenter's bench. This might not work without having the less building placement restrictions mod. But yeah, and I might need to flip this around so there's a little bit more walking room. Something like that. So you can walk through here. And it's not as crowded. Not as crowded, I think. But that looks good. You have a whole crafting room in here, which is beautiful. Love it. Alright, and then we're going to put a floor in. A floor in once again. And this top floor here will be the quarters. And I actually wanted to do a balcony for this, so I'm going to get rid of this window here. Get this here. And the balcony is going to be pretty large. Not too large, but it's going to be as big as this floor pattern here. And the hallway is going to have the stairs going up to the final floor. Technically there will be a roof top, but I'm not really worried about going up to the roof. At least not for me. You could put probably your precious belongings or something up there. The beautiful crenellated walls. Although the crenellated walls, you can walk over them, so it might be wise to use the fences instead. Yeah, for this part, the fences would definitely be better. And it's raining again. Alright, now the stairs. The way we're going to do this is put a staircase here. Put a ceiling, not a trapdoor. Ceiling there, ceiling there. And then it goes back around, it goes the opposite direction. Just like that. And then it closes, it stops up here, and then you can put another door frame right here. And that leads into the private quarters, or the bedroom, however you want to put it. And honestly, I'm gonna leave this open here, like open face. Well, except for this bottom part here. I'm actually gonna do that instead. Use these sloping walls. And then use the regular walls. Like so. Yeah, that looks good. Then this up here can... Probably wouldn't mind putting a... No, that just That might look a little weird. I'll just put a fence there. Yeah, fence will look better that way. And this will be just an open room with some hanging lights from above. I'm gonna go back around and use the frontier ceilings for this part and just finish that off. Which way are they facing? They're facing this way. And I have some cool ideas for the roof part just to make it less flat. Just to give it some more depth. And I think one of those things will be giving a raised roof for this part here. So something like this. And then putting another set of ceilings above it. Like so. And then put some hanging lights there. I think that'll be good. And for this part, this is going to have its own awning as well. I love awnings. Awnings are nice. They're really nice. And then for these front parts here, they are going to have, they're going to be their own little towers. And they're going to go up as high as like these corner towers here where they go up by 2. And then I can use the rooftop cap like that. I like that. That looks good. And I kind of want to do the same thing for some other corners here. So what I can do is for these corners, I'll bring them up by 2. And then use the caps for these as well. Just like that. And I think it would be important too to bring these up to around the same height. Because having no corners being raised up like that just kind of annoys me a little bit, bothers me. Right, and then this part here will have its own roof. And the other thing I could use is this intersection roof piece, but it doesn't look as cool as these caps here. So I'm just going to leave them as the rooftop caps. And for this one, we're going to have the rooftop end there and there, and then this regular roof piece, just like that. That looks good. Or something else I just thought of is this is just going to be for looks, but create a larger square in this middle part and build it up pretty tall. Oops. Probably taller than the rooftop cap here. Yeah, we'll build it up pretty tall. And then put a ceiling here. Put some ceilings. And each corner will also be built up 2 blocks high with the rooftop cap. I said go with 1. Oh, I like that. I like that, actually. That looks really cool. And then finish the rest of it off with these crenellated walls and places where there are gaps. Just like that. That looks so good. Oh, I forgot to put them up here too. There we go. Now, the next thing we gotta do is put more lights in around this place, because it's not bright at all. Not at all. And we need to bring up some lights here. And I actually want to fix these windows, because, I could use these kind of windows instead for the bedroom. Like so. That just looks good overall. And then I could do the same thing, maybe, or I might just use these smaller windows up here. So I'll put a window there, and a window there. Just that way it lets in a little bit more natural light. Yeah. Alright, let's decorate the outside with some lights and with some... maybe with some more statues or something. So in the middle of these towers, I think, oh, these braziers will look great. Yep, these large braziers. That'll light it up pretty well, I think. We need some banners around here, though. Some nice looking banners. I do like these Argosian flags. They're pretty nice. Although they blow into the walls. So maybe not those. Maybe actual banners like these. Which, these ones just... I like them in general. They're just really nice. Those are war banners. Those are pretty small. Those are pretty small too. There are these. I think these blow in the wind too, don't they? Not really sure. It doesn't look like it. Oh, no, they do. But that's fine. Something like that, just to give it a little bit more oomph, I guess. And then there are these war banners that stick in the ground like so. They blow in the breeze too, so it's kind of annoying. I think for ones up here, we could put some statues in place. The statues are always nice to have. And we don't have to use large statues this time. We could use some smaller ones. At least ones that might match the area a little bit better, or... Some of these statues are a little tricky to figure out exactly which ones I want. And some of them are not perfectly square. Oh, these ones. Duh. Yeah, those look good. I'm gonna put those on each side here. Just like so. And for lights, I could just use little tiny lights around here. Maybe these lamps. Can I put this behind here? I can. Yeah, I'll put it behind each of these statues. Just like that. It lights it up a little bit, but nothing too crazy. And I can add some more of these around here on each side. This one here might need something larger, so I'm going to use this Aquilonian brazier like that. And then go back to using the garden lamps. Just because I think they look good. Then up here as well, I'll use that one, that's more subtle. That's definitely more subtle. So on the inside, we definitely need some lamps hanging down. And what better ones to use than the Aquilonian hanging lamps? These are just my favorite overall. I just cannot live without them, you know? They're just so nice to have. Very, very nice. They don't light up the room that well, but they are nice to have at least above your head. I think I'm gonna put a couple rugs here, probably two of the same ones here. Like so. I like that. And I should have split this off into separate rooms, but I think having this out in the open is fine. Is good enough for me. And in the middle of these carpets, they call them carpets, but they're really just rugs to me. Maybe not, nothing too big, but nothing too small. Maybe those, or I like the road lamps. The road lamps are cool, but those are too dim. So like that. Yeah, those are good. It's always hard to find the center of these. Truly is. But that's okay. Yeah, something like that. And then we'll go back upstairs. Get these hanging lamps again. Because they're just so good to have. And this is where I'm going to put these hanging lamps. One right there. One right there. Beautiful. Kind of dimly lits it, which that's exactly what I'm looking for. And then these Aquilonian braziers, which hang pretty high up. These are nice for some little lighting in smaller rooms as well. Yeah, we got something like this. This looks really cool. I like this. Now the last little bit is obviously making an entrance to the castle. I'm not gonna do anything too fancy. But obviously it's something to make it look nice as you make your way to the castle. So put those down first. Get our wonderful, wonderful storm glass ceilings down and everything. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the door gets in the way, unfortunately. That's okay. Speaking of doors, I need to put more doors in. These doors, of course, that lead outside and inside. Like that. Those don't need doors there, those are fine, and if you try to climb the wall, the crenulated walls are gonna get you. And as long as those doors are to the main... As long as doors are on the door frames that go to the main part of the castle, then nobody's gonna get inside. And put that there. Alright. And let's get our stairs, but this time I actually want to use storm glass stairs. I don't really use them that much when I should. I'm gonna have them face this way, going up the side. Actually, you know what? No, we'll go all the way around. Where's the corner? Are there corner stairs for this? There is. And I'm not gonna use the railing. Not the railing, set of stairs. Use the ones without the railing. Just like that. That looks good. And then lights for outside here as well. Do I want those? Probably not. Probably use the Argosian ones, because those kind of match a little bit better. Yeah, like that. And then banners would also be good for this as well. Maybe like one there. I mean, I really don't like it blowing in the blowing in the breeze like that. Ugh. These are fine. These will work. One there and one right there. Kind of works. Probably put two of those instead. Kind of hard to tell if it's on the same. It is not. One there, and then one on the same side, like so. That's close enough. But there we go, we get something just like this. Oh, that looks so good. I like that. I like how this turned out. I love it. It's a very tall castle, but it pretty much has what you need inside of it. It has the benches, it has a place for you to sleep, and you could do things in this courtyard area if you want to. You could obviously put a bunch of thralls around. You obviously have these walls here where you could put archers on and things like that, so you got a lot to work with here. But I think this turned out really well, and I hope you guys enjoyed this build video as much as I did. If you did enjoy this, you can hit that like button if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate that. And don't forget to hit subscribe as well, because that lets me know that you guys enjoy the content on the channel and would like to see more. I'd like to give a shout out to my friend Barry Medley for being a member of the channel, and you can become a member too by hitting the join button down below. I've been Savvy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys! See you later.